Hare Krishna, please accept our humble obeisances. We are cordially inviting Srila Gurudev and essential devotees to our seeing through the eyes of scriptures Gyan Cakshu. We are very grateful to have all of you here. So let's commence this session by seeking Srila Gurudev's permission. Shall we start, Gurudev?
Yes, please. Yes, start.
All Thank you so much, Gurudev. So, our very first question for today's session goes: can changing the type of services one is performing, can that help us to achieve the desired perfection in relation with spiritual master as well as with Krishna?
Maybe you should repeat the question.
Sure, Gurudev.
Mm.
Can changing the type of service one is performing,
Mm.
can that help us to achieve the desired perfection in relation with Krishna and with spiritual master?
Namo Vishnu Padre Krishna Prasad Bhutale Simati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Say Saraswati Devi Gauravanti Chari Nirvise Sasanyavadi Pastatra Desakarani Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Changing the service is not what makes one to improve our Krishna consciousness, but changing our consciousness will help us to improve our service or our devotional activities or standard. Changing environment also is not the best thing because what is making us to have difficulties or problems, it is with us. So taking it anywhere, it is just a useless idea because the problem will follow us everywhere. So if you change our consciousness, that will help us to make progress in Krishna consciousness. After all, we are here. We are here to make our consciousness better. The devotional process, devotional activity, the sadhana is to make our consciousness better by the daily practice. So a devotee running from one place to another place, it doesn't make sense. It shows our maturity. But changing the situation, one can do service anywhere and any service. Shilan Narottam Das Thakura is saying, why do you want to go to Vrindavan? He is not saying we shouldn't go to Vrindavan, but he is concerned about our consciousness. Why do you want to go to Vrindavan? Where you are, Krishna is not there. Krishna is everywhere. Krishna is present. So, in other words, he is asking us to have a higher consciousness that we can make Vrindavan present everywhere. So, Prabhupada explains that wherever one is constantly thinking of Krishna, doing dedicated service of Krishna, that is Vrindavan. But Vrindavan is still Vrindavan. But our chariots are here to help us change our consciousness, to have a better attitude towards what we do. So we shouldn't just run here and there. Because if you run here and run there, we're simply transferring the problem from one place to another place. Better to resolve it anywhere. And then we can be situated anywhere. Anywhere will be Vrindavan for us. Everywhere will be heaven for us. If our consciousness is corrected, is changed to Vrindavan consciousness, we can exist anywhere. And we can do any service. The devotees should be attached to service, but not to position. If we are attached to a position, we have difficulties when there is a change. If we are attached to service, we don't have any challenges. We have any difficulty when the service is changed. We are to serve, not to be attached to position. So this should be clearly understood, and then we can make advancements in our Christian consciousness. All right, I think that helps.
Yes, Guru,
Maybe.
thank you so much for explaining. Our next question goes: as the prison house is not somewhere outside but inside the country, does that apply that the material world is inside somewhere in the spiritual world?
Yes, that we have explained many times. Before any country will construct a city, they will also include the prison house. Although there's no criminal at that time, but they knew that in the future there will be criminals, and there is a need to make the provision to make the things function properly. Similarly, the material world. When we say the material world, what are we thinking material world? Material world is just a small portion of the spiritual world. It's a small portion, just small. The dimension to be 1/4, not of the whole total. 1/4. So it's a small. It's just a small spot. Uh, that is called the material world. And when that consciousness is removed, you will see that we are not anywhere. We are in the spiritual world, but our consciousness, which has developed into criminality, will make us to have experience of being in hell. Yes, it is true that the material world is just a small portion of the spiritual world. It's a prison house, like here in the material world. The prison is within the country. You're not outside the country. It's within. So everything belongs to Krishna, and everything existing in Krishna. So it is part of the spiritual world, but covered. Right?
Yes, Guru. Thank you so much for answering. Our next question goes: we have been hearing that we should not see the face of those who are envious of us. And at the same time, we do constantly hear that we should be treating each and every devotee with the same respect. Isn't it conflicting?
Yes. Externally, it will look like it is conflicting to not see the faces of those who are envious. And Srila Prabhupada recommended that envious people should be rejected, should not be respected. Envious people should not be respected, should be rejected. And we also hear many times that we should respect everyone. And there is, I just read one portion just a few minutes ago. I was discussing with the devotee. Where a Krishna conscious person thinks, even this person is acting as my enemy. What can the person do? It's just that the person is in ignorance and you're doing that. So you show compassion. So what is the real understanding, the proper understanding? The proper understanding is that those who are envious, we should keep them in distance. Because by being close with them, it will increase their offenses, it will increase their envious nature. Because envious person doesn't like to see you making any progress. They want to see you having anything wonderful. He doesn't want to hear anything good about you. So if we associate with the envious person who has this kind of consciousness, it will increase the poison. Therefore, it's better to avoid them. That is a understanding. By avoiding them as much as possible, we are not keeping enmity with them. We are helping them to reduce their envious nature and be helped, so they can also make advancements. In other words, it is also a costless mercy of a person who is envied upon those who are envious to keep distance. It is different from hatred. So we 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 cannot avoid completely some of this because it's a proper mention that in this Hare Krishna movement, this our ISKCON, there's so many envious people. So many. Actually, it's difficult to find someone not envious. That's such a pure devotee. Only pure devotee will not be envious. Even if you don't show it, doesn't mean it's not there. For some, it is subtle. For majority, it is gross. So, how can we avoid people who are going to work with every day when envy is so much there in the heart? So, it is best done by keeping distance, physically and also mentally. If you keep thinking, if you keep thinking about envious person, then we are associating with that person. If you keep thinking about how about people are very envious and how they are envying, then we're associating with them also, and we're imbibing their nature. It's better to consciously, mentally, and grossly avoid as much as possible. Then we can make advancement ourselves, and we can also help them to make advancement in their Krishna consciousness. That is the way to handle this situation. All right?
Yes, Gurudev. Thank you so much. So our next question is, what are the different techniques to connect with holy name all the time?
Mm. Different techniques of connect with the Holy Name all the time. First of all, we should understand who is the Holy Name. If you don't understand something, you're not going to do it better, or you're not going to have deep appreciation, or you'll not be so enthusiastic about it, or will not be so eager to get it. So, first of all, the first thing for us to do is to understand who is this person, the Holy Name we are trying to associate or to take shelter. How we want to take shelter of somebody you don't know, or something which is not realistic. The better we know something, the better our appreciation and realization of that person or object. So that is number one thing. That we should try to understand who is the Holy Name. The person who is the best friend, the real friend, the real friend. That is a position of the Holy Name. Our protector, our shelter, our provider, our maintainer, the solution to all our problems. So if you have this clear understanding about the Holy Name, then the next thing is to have a deep appreciation for it. If I know this, like Arjuna gave a full attention to Krishna because he knew this is the only person that can help me get out of my problem. Therefore, Arjuna gave full attention, rapt attention. The same thing with the Parikshit Maharaj. He knew Shukadeva Goswami was the only person that can help him because he found out that many people could not answer his question. And Shukadeva Goswami came. Therefore, he gave him full attention, complete attention. So, if we want to have a full show to the Holy Name, we must give full attention to the Holy Name. To give full attention. When Shukadeva Goswami was known to Parikshit as the solution to his problem, he gave him full attention. When Arjuna understood Krishna is the only person that can help him resolve his case, he gave him full attention. So you see, Arjuna understood Bhagavad Gita in 30 minutes. We are doing Bhakti Shastri in 5 minutes and now 5 minutes. Mayapur is 3 minutes. In some places less. But what do you understand from it? Arjuna got Bhagavad Gita 700 verses in 30 minutes. Full realization, full, complete realization. And Arjuna, he confessed the effect of having the Gita, understanding the Gita. He had a full understanding. Why? Because he gave full attention. He gave it completely. There was no reservation. One of the best qualities we see in Arjuna. Although he was not interested in fighting, but when Krishna told him, I need this, you have to do it for me. And he knew that this Krishna is not just an ordinary person, he's a person that has solution to all his problems. He gave full attention to Krishna and he gave him his best, no reservation. So we need to give ourselves completely to the holy name without reservation. No reservation, because reserving something for who? For who? That's an offense. If you have some reservation, it is an offense. Full dependence, full surrender to the holy name. And as we said, that depends on how much we understood who is this person. When that is done, then we'll do like Arjuna, we'll do like Maharaj Parikshit. And I also listened to Parikshit Maharaj telling his mother, my dear mother, please, I request you to give me full attention and listen to what I'm going to tell you with a sober concentration. Sober concentration, because I'm going to reveal a powerful secret to you. Something which you need to know. Ask your question. That is required. Full attention, full concentration, full dependence on the holy name. If we want, if we want the association of the holy name, if we want the mercy of the holy name, we should give attention. And then another point is, a person who is very hungry will eat more. A person who is not so hungry will not eat more, will eat less. Even though the food is very tasty, but if you're not hungry, what can you do? You eat less. A person who is very, very hungry will eat more, even the food is not so nice. Because you want to fill the belly, you eat more. Similarly, if we are feeling the pain of material existence, we will have more dependence on the Holy Name. If we are feeling comfortable in this material, I'm just 20 years old. Yeah, I'm just a girl. I'm just a boy. Yeah, I have wonderful facilities. We will not give in our best to the Holy Name. We are going to take our relationship with the Holy Name casual. Kunti Devi confirmed this. She said to Lord Krishna that the people who are not materially exhausted, they cannot pray to you with feelings. Their prayer is just a lip say. It's a lip say. Just not from the heart. It doesn't come from the heart. So to do something, it must come from the heart. So our appetite to associate with the Holy Name should be very strong. Then we can benefit from chanting the Holy Name. Just like when the person is very hungry and have a tasty prasadam before you, we don't sleep. We don't sleep there. We don't talk. Someone is talking. Those who talk, they won't eat nice food. They will not eat the food nicely, and the food also will not be nourishing. People are talking while eating. The food is poison, and people don't know this. And people think it is a good culture to be talking on prasadam. We're talking on japa. It's an offense, very, very big offense. This technology should be carefully observed. He asked me for technologies to have a full short, full blessing of the Holy Name. Talking on Pradjapa, planning our days on Pradjapa, conversing and discussing on Japa. It is a very dangerous activity. They should be avoided. fully, to be fully avoided. If you want to have a full blessing of the Holy Name. Eh? What does it look like? How does it look like? How does it look like when you give full attention to someone who is speaking to you? Does it look like the person? Yeah, this is my good friend. He's with me. When the person notices he's speaking to you, are sleeping. I will leave you. I will go away. I will think this person is not serious. Why are you wasting my time? So if you are if you want to have a good association with the Holy Name, you want a mercy with the Holy Name, and we are not giving full attention. Then they will say, okay, he called me, but he's talking something else. Okay, this person has time to waste, but I won't allow you to waste my time. I'll cut off the call. If you call me and I say, yes, Hare Krishna, there's nothing. And I'm hearing you talking, I'll cut off the phone. I will continue. Similarly, the Holy Name will cut off the call when the name notices that this person called me and he's not hearing me, he's talking something else. Sometimes, sometimes you notice like that. It's someone they call and they're not talking. I'm waiting there with the call. They're not talking. So don't waste my time. You can have your time to wait, but you cannot waste my own time. You can waste your own time. We can't waste my own time. So that is a condition. So what about the Holy Name, who is not a condition? Who has better servant, better devotee to associate with? The relationship is better with the people who are of a higher level. Hmm? When when people are sweet with each other, the relationship is very, very nice, very wonderful, very tasty. Similarly, if the holy name the holy name has better devotees who knows, who understand the value of his association, then will give attention to them and not to those who have many other things to do. They just want to waste the holy name's time. The holy name will not allow that. So these are some technologies we need to put in place if you want to take a quick shot. And the greatest thing that all pure devotee would never, even in a dream, try to do is to make offense. Pure devotees are very, very concerned, very fearful of offenses, even though they are fearless, but they're very, very concerned about making offenses. So, to have a good relationship with the Holy Name, we should also consider this very, very seriously. Very, very seriously. And I should make friendship with somebody, not be in a position that we are making the person angry. We make our friends angry always. Except you are a pure devotee. Hmm? If you are a pure devotee, our so-called anger is another way of stimulating our love. That's what pure devotee. Well, not conditions. Not conditions. Hmm? So the holy name will appreciate those who uh, those who are seeing him as the those who value him. The Holy Name will see those who value him as the best, and the Holy Name will benefit those who value him, those who value the Holy Name. If it is a and if it is a valuable asset, then we should value the Holy Name. So how do we value the Holy Name? How do we value the Holy Name? We value something by uh, keeping that valuable, very, very, very confidential, very, very, very special. What do we put our deities with? What do we make an altar for deity? Because it's valuable. So we have to give something very, very important. So we keep the name very high. So keep the name very high. So no, yes, I'm going to meet an important person. So how much should be prepared? How much should be prepared? I'm going to meet an important person. The most important person in my life. Holy name. So this consciousness will be maintained. These are some few technologies for this time. We'll continue with it because Christian and holiness are unlimited. So there's many technologies. At least let's digest this one, then we can give more later. Because we still have some other questions. All right?
Yes, Gurudev. Thank you so much. So our next question is, if Maya takes a hold on us, what is the quickest way to go back to Krishna?
If the mind take us, if the mind is take hold of us, the mind take hold of us, what to do? The the first principle which will continue is to also understand the nature of the mind. So the nature of the mind, flicker, never steady, never steady, always childish. What does a child do? They are ready to take anything available. And it is fire, it is poison, it is knife, whatever the child sees, it is food. That's the nature of the mind, jumping here and there. So we should understand the nature of the mind as Bhagavad Gita has already explained to us. So when that is understood, and Gita also gave us the formula. Gita gave the formula. Since we know the child is restless, um, stubborn, very obstinate. You take poison away from the child, will cry, why you don't allow me to enjoy? Enjoy poison? The child will cry, why, mama, give me my poison. I want to enjoy it. That is a nature. So children are like that. So we have to look at the mind as a child. Restless, stubborn, and obstinate child. So it's restless, always busy. So the duty of the mother is what? To give attention to checking the restless child, the restless mind from jumping. And how do we do that? We should neglect the mind. We should learn how to neglect the mind. Neglect. Hmm? As the mind is very stubborn, we should also be very stubborn. That neglect the mind. Neglect. Disobey the mind. Should disobey. You are telling me this, I'm not going to follow. I want to follow what the scripture says. I want to follow what Christians say. I want to follow what they say. I will not follow you. So you disobey the mind, neglect the mind, by not giving attention to the mind. And for us to be able to do this perfectly, we have to hear sufficiently about Christians. We should regularly hear about Christians. Then, if we are hearing properly, we will chant properly and will remember properly, because that will become meditation. Meditation. I was this afternoon. I was just listening to sometimes Swami speaking that Maharaj Ugrasena was speaking to Uddhava. No, sorry, he was speaking to Narada Muni about Uddhava. Just Narada hearing about Uddhava, his wonderful qualities, wonderful fortunate position. Narada Muni became ecstatic. He used the word that the Muni was gripped by ecstatic love for Krishna. He was captured. Hearing. And then we keep meditating on that we are hearing. We trick the mind from going here. We trick the mind. We deceive the mind. We will disobey the mind. Where will we have the strength to disobey the mind if we are not hearing properly? We will not have the strength to disobey. to manipulate the mind. If there is nothing there to engage the mind in, the mind will say, "Oh, look at you. You think you can escape me? I know your I know your fault. I know all your secrets. I know your weakness." And yes, then you hit us at the weak point. Yes. So if you want to keep the mind in Krishna, you want to keep the mind in Krishna, that whenever the mind you know, capture us, we can release ourselves easily. If by how much training we are given to the mind by cultivating Krishna consciousness. Yamunacharya, this favorite, favorite, favorable, powerful quality. Since ever I've been engaged in Krishna consciousness, since ever I've been attached to Krishna, hearing seriously about Krishna, since ever I've been attached to Krishna, worshiping and serving Krishna, the enemy of Kamsa. Whenever I remember saying a vacation, I just feel disgusted. I just turn away from it. I turn my face away from it. Why does he have the strength to do that? Because of his mind absorbed in Krishna consciousness. So, with the mind absorbed in Krishna consciousness, when intelligence feeds on Krishna, the mind will naturally give us chance to serve. That is the secret. That's the secret. We cannot do it otherwise. We cannot do it otherwise. That the mind capture. The mind capturing means we are slave already. We are slave for the mind. So the mind will continue to torment and torture us and taking us to various useless places. The mind will never take us to any good place. It will take us only to useless places. Mhm. So if you want to do to avoid this, we should hear constantly Krishna. Hearing about Krishna constantly from pure devotees of Krishna. They would plant Krishna in the heart. And by planting Krishna in the heart, the mind will not have the power to take us away. Even if the mind goes to some nonsense, immediately we'll get back. Immediately we have the strength to return back. This is how pure devotees function. And if we want to be on the level, we have to follow their footsteps. These are the technologies how to better our mind. So, see, Narada Muni is trembling in ecstasy just by hearing, hmm, just by hearing about Buddha, the potency. We cannot do that if we are casually, if we are casually doing it. But if you deeply hear it, then we will feel the way Narada was feeling after hearing all these things. This is a technology we have to follow, and then we'll get it. Parikshit said, Sri Parikshit said, noble mother, after hearing Ugrasena's advice, after hearing Ugrasena's advice, Sri Parikshit Vacha, Tashrutvarye Mahaprema, Rasa Vesena Yantrita, Mahavishnu Priyo Vina, Hastosho Vismrita Kila, Sadadvara Bhakti Vasa, Vyastanta Puravat Mana, Prabhu Prasadadi Santa Pravesarachari Pravesascharya Vahina Purvadhyasat Vivadhyasam Prasadasya Gato Muni Uta Vishnu Mahom Madam Grihitascha Katitara. Sri Parikshit said, Noble mother, after hearing Ugrasena's advice, Narada, the dear devotee of Lord Mahavishnu, became absorbed in the taste of exalted love of God by hearing Ugrasena speaking about Uda. Narimuni, he entered into Uda consciousness. This is hearing. He became absorbed in the taste of exalted love of God, which sees him in each group. Yes. Forgetting everything else, he started off, Vina in hand, having spent much time before in Dwarka. Narada automatically took the familiar road to the center of the city. Amazing road that led to the neighborhood of the Lord's palaces and came to the palace of Krishna that he knew how to reach from earlier visits. Under the spell of intense transcendental agitation, Narada seemed like an ordinary person haunted by ghosts. Yes. All right.
Yes, Gurudev, thank you so much. Now we have one live question in which the devotee says, in 2 days back in class, Gurudev, you mentioned that we need to give love to everyone like we
Hmm.
give to our best friend. But there are
Yes.
different kind of people.
Hmm.
And doing so, people will take advantage of our goodness and take us for granted. So how do we maintain that?
Hmm. Loving, loving everybody, it does not mean we are foolish. Yeah? We are going to want to open ourselves to everybody. That is not the meaning. Loving everybody means in our heart we should appreciate everyone and not have anything inimical towards anybody. That's what it means. Loving everybody means we care for people, and wherever there is a chance for us to do anything to help them, we are ready to do that. That is loving people. But I'm going to go and give myself to somebody. eh? Some people they didn't understand this, and they get cheated, and that becomes a scar in their life. They will keep thinking about how they were cheated because we didn't know how to relate with people. So they will they will not take undue advantage of us. So for people to take undue advantage of us means that we does not know how to relate with them. So we should know how to relate with everybody. So we don't allow ourselves to be cheated by, according to Bhagavad Gita, Kulagnanam, the destroyers of family tradition. They are everywhere in the world. So they want, their intention is to destroy what scripture is teaching. That's their sinful nature. So we should not be foolish to think that nah, I love everybody, so I can travel with you alone now, anywhere to do with you alone. Yeah, be raped or you can do something injurious to you. That's not the meaning. How this helped to clear this soul canals. Many times this question keep coming. Many times. How should I do this? People will take on board. If I'm humble, people will mistreat you. They will think you are a fool. Yes, in Kali Yoga, people say that. But humility does not mean foolishness. To be humble doesn't mean foolishness. We shouldn't equate foolishness with humility or loving people. To care for people it doesn't mean that I should now not knowing who how dangerous people are. I should not think that everybody has become pure devotees. Hmm? You shouldn't think like that. Once a cat took some mice. He was carrying his danda, but the chanting beat. March. So when the rat, they said, hey, Swami, he said, yeah, yes, I'm a Swami now. I don't eat you again. Oh, yeah, we are friends now. See, Mama. Never. So the rat said, oh, great, let's go now. Let's go now play with our friend. Now he's not our enemy anymore. Not dangerous. Now he's a friend. So all the rat, they came around. They were having their so-called. They killed them, which you can't kill them. It is cheating. So the cat was thinking, you see, before to get one rat to eat, they have to work very hard. To pretend, see, I have something now. You pretend, yeah, I got money. It's very easy way to, to do this cheating, pretending. So as the rat gave himself freely to him, thinking that he's a Swami, when he got their confidence, he threw the danda and the so-called beat away, ate them. That's his foolishness. Only Lord Eternal delivered the grandmother. No, not the grandmother. When he delivered the thief who came, the thief was born Brahman, but he gave us a Brahmanical culture and started, and he adopted a very dangerous profession of killing, robbing, and murdering people. And when he saw Lord Eternal, he thought, hey, this is great. This is great. I'm going to do the same thing. So our study, all the riches we're looking for, she has put it in one place. So after talking to him, yeah, great. Yes, this is the result of our worship. So nobody just 2 hours tonight. Go and start. So he went. They don't understand the party. They were doing the same thing. Instead of having killed time, also do for this team something. And they see they look at it and see, see. They already discussing. So when he got there in the evening, waiting for the night to come, all of them started sharing the whole thing. Yeah, that company said that is for me. The one is, yeah, that jewel all from the left hand is for me. Yeah, the one from the right hand is for me. Look at his necklace. That is for me. Look at his bangle. Yes, I'll get that one. They already shared everything before robbing. They already shared all the ornamental on the internet. They were in the group, in the same group. And then when they were there, planning to rob the night, they came to the village in the heat, in the bush, under a tree, waiting. And they sent a spy to go and check, to go and survey the place. The spy went and came back and told them, they are not eating sumptuously, they are eating heavily. That is very good. So let them eat and sleep. Then we will do our duty. So while they were there thinking about this, only Nityananda Prabhu, who is the supreme person of God, the source of all mystic power, send Nidra Devi, go and do some service. So Nidra Devi put all of them to sleep until 6 o'clock. the next day they slept until the next day 6 o'clock. Before they got up, when they got up, they started. They were afraid. They ran away. Before they discovered, they ran. They ran away. When they ran to the river to take a bath, they started arguing with themselves. You slept first. It is you slept first. The other one said, so you're the one who slept with the whole night? The leader said, my brother, why you are just wasting time? What did they need? Just today we didn't succeed. Doesn't mean we're not going to succeed. Come on, don't disrupt yourself. Forget about this thing. Let's go tonight. Come back again. So when they came back again, they saw Nityananda Prabhu created different. They saw that the security guard they were as tall as the mountains, and one of them can kill hundreds of them. And they were all decorated with cheetahs and they were chanting Hare Krishna mantra, parading the whole place. Where does these people come from? This Abadutta. No, you saw us. When he came, the king came to visit him, and he claimed with all this security. So let us just wait. When the king will go, he will go with all his security guard. He will do our duty. So they waited and waited and waited the whole day, nothing. So they decided, let us just go. Let us just go. And give some days. The king will spend some time and go away. Let's come back after 10 days. Then we can do our job. So they left. After 10 days, they came back. And that day, one Lieutenant Prabhu, he, he, he made all of them blind. All of them blind. They couldn't see anything. They fell into ditches with giant mosquitoes. Giant mosquitoes. Giant mosquitoes were biting them, torturing them, scorpions and varieties of all poisonous creatures were all after them, biting them. Some fell inside the ditch and broke their leg. And after this, only time people told Indra to do some service. Indra sent the torrential rain was hitting them, heavy cold. They were suffering like anything. They suffered. But that suffering brought some purification. So the leader of the gang, seeing the situation, they were completely blind. They couldn't find any way. So the leader of the gang started repenting. This Avadutta is really the supreme personality. The first day we came here, he put us into sleep. Yet, because of my karma, because of my foolishness, because of my ignorance, I did not recognize. The next day we came here, there were formidable, powerful, giant security guard that paraded the whole place. Still, we couldn't understand the mystic power demonstrated along with me. And today, we came again to see what is happening. This is very, very, very dangerous. It's dangerous. We were repenting and crying, crying and crying. Then Lord Internet people took picture of them and released them from that place. They went and took back in Ganga and got themselves cleansed. And then went to the house, changed, and then the leader of the gang came to Lincoln. And the devil was sitting with the successor. He came and fell down flat, open a business to Lincoln, crying and begging, please forgive me. So Lord Temple will say, what did I do? What happened? Tell us. Tell us frankly. Tell everything. Don't be ashamed. Don't be afraid. Say everything. So he narrated his stories. And Temple blessed him. And he said, yes, now I will go and drown myself in Ganga. There is no need for me to live again. My sinful life has taken me to the top. I cannot live again. I will drown myself in Ganga. So while this was going on, all the devotees were very suspicious. They were not just giving him themselves, they were very suspicious. What had happened to this dangerous person? Do it change now? No, this is pretense. See, they're very intelligent. No, this is pretense. Only when they watched him and had his narration, his plan, everything, and they could see the mercy of non-internet manifesting him, it is only then they gave themselves completely. So we should learn from this. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Guru. Thank you so much. So we have last question for today's session, and that is, does the soul suffer with the mind, or he's always enjoying?
Those,
Does the soul suffer with the mind, or he's always enjoying?
a soul does not suffer. Our suffering is due to the misidentification with the body and the mind. How can the soul suffer? Suffer from what? What would make the soul suffer? There's nothing. There's nothing. Material thing cannot affect the soul. So how can the soul suffer? So, as the Prophet explained that material existence is a dream. A person who is sleeping and dreaming will see a tiger. A person who is sleeping and dreaming, he says, falling from the sky and afraid, oh, help me, oh, I'm falling over. But you're lying in the bed. So it's a dream. When we wake up, do we see that we are falling? No, you see us sleeping in the bed, comfortably. You're sleeping in the bed. You see tiger? No, you don't see tiger there. You're sleeping in the bed. Your room is locked. How will a tiger enter there? Except he's not a singer there. The singer 𝐭𝐸𝐫𝐸𝐻𝐿. How will the soul suffer? The soul does not suffer. Our suffering is due to misidentification. We have accepted that which is temporal as permanent. That is the problem. And as soon as we regain our original Krishna consciousness, we will see when our illusion is all gone, we will see there is nothing to lament for, nothing to worry for, nothing to fear. There's nothing. All along, all the dark experiences we have been having here is due to our misidentification with the body, misidentifying the self with the body. Just like if you keep association with somebody, whatever happened to that person will experience it. If you're in a particular environment, whatever happens to that environment, we're going to experience it. So because we're in this, we are locked up in this material body, and, and deceived by our mind, so we suffer unnecessarily. Naratu Pashanam Sakshat Bhakti Yogama Dokshaji Lokasya Ajananta Vidum Chakre Samhita Saswata Sutta Goswami. All our sufferings in this material world is superfluous. It doesn't affect the soul. But Lokasya Ajananta, the general mass of people do not know this. Therefore, the learned Vyasadeva, he compiled Srimad Bhagavatam, which is in connection with the Supreme Personality in devotion to help us regain our original consciousness. To regain our original consciousness. So the soul will not suffer. So Krishna told us to give up all dualities. All duality. One who is free from duality. One who is liberated from the turmoil of material nature. No suffering. No suffering. There is always bliss. That is, which is the nature of the soul, to be blissful. Like Krishna. Krishna is eternally blissful. And we, his parts and parcels, are blissful like him. And now the twat, they're going to twat. That is our permanent situation. But because we have associated with material nature, with dualities, so we are experiencing heat and cold, happiness, distress, tall and short, black, white, rich and poor, intelligence and less intelligent. These are dualities, happiness, distress. We are experiencing all these things because we are conditioned to it. The moment one get out of the condition line, I go.
Thank you so much,
The
Guru.
moment where we are free from the, the illusion of material existence, there is nothing else but sweet dealings with Krishna, which is our natural permanent state. Krishna consciousness is like that. So we should get it very clear. The soul does not suffer. Our suffering is superfluous. So we are unnecessarily suffering. Unnecessarily. To get out of this illusion, we will see that, yeah, what is the problem? It's the experience of Narada Muni. See, only in my ignorance that I was thinking myself separate from the Lord. I wasn't. We're not. We are not. We are the same in quantity and free like the Lord. But because of our ignorance, we see ourselves separate from the Lord and we have to experience all the dualities offered by material energy for our conditioned life. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, thank you so much, Gurudev. So here we close for today's session of Gyan Cakshu session. We thank each and every devotee for going along with us today and eagerly taking part. We'll soon return with another question answers. If your question is unanswered or unknown, we'll make sure we answer in the next session. Thank you so much, Gurudev. Thank you, everybody. We are very grateful.
Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.